Unstoppable fire. Glowing star Coco Gauff captures WTA 1000 title in Wuhan, overcoming Jessica Pegula. Trophy. The sound of a single tennis ball striking the center of a racket echoed through the Wuhan night. Sharp, rhythmic, relentless. The crowd rose to their feet, breath held, eyes locked on a young woman standing under the dazzling floodlights. Her name, Coco Gauff. Her mission, to prove that fire doesn't fade, it evolves. As the final point struck the baseline and Jessica Pegula's return drifted long, Coco dropped her racket, covered her face, and let the tears fall. The scoreboard read 6-3, 4-6, 6-2. Victory, redemption, rebirth. At just 21 years old, Coco Gauff had done again, this time in Wuhan, claiming her third WTA 1000 title and etching her name deeper into the story of modern tennis greatness. But this wasn't just another win. This was a fire reignited, a declaration to the world that Coco Gauff's rise was no fluke. The long road to Wuhan. In early 2025, Coco's journey was anything but smooth. She had the world's eyes on her. The pressure of fame, the weight of expectations, the whispers of critics who wondered if her U.S. Open victory was her peak. There were tournaments where the spark seemed dimmed, quarterfinal losses, early exits, fatigue written in her eyes. For a player so young, the burden of greatness can be a heavy crown. But Coco never ran from pressure. She studied it, reshaped it, burned it into motivation. Her coach once said, "Coco doesn't fight opponents. She fights time, fear, her own limits, and she wins." By the time the Wuhan Open arrived, the flame had returned to her eyes, brighter, bolder, untamed. The Wuhan Arena awakens. The Wuhan Tennis Center was a cauldron of sound. Thousands of fans waving flags, chanting names, drums echoing through the night. From the moment Coco stepped onto the blue court, something felt different. Her walk carried calm determination, her eyes unblinking under the glare of spotlights. She wasn't here just to play. She was here to conquer. Her first few matches were masterclasses in control. Against China's Zheng Qinwen, she unleashed blistering forehands that kissed the lines. Against Daria Kasatkina, she showed patience, absorbing long rallies until her opponent crumbled. Against Aryna Sabalenka in the semis, she defied brute power with precision and speed, sending the world number 2 tumbling out of the draw. Every victory sharpened her focus. Every point was a step closer to destiny. The rivalry renewed. Standing across from Coco in the Wuhan final was Jessica Pegula, the quiet powerhouse, her close friend and fellow American. They had shared victories, laughs, and locker room stories. But on this night, there was no friendship, only fire. Pegula, the tactician, the rhythm breaker, had one goal: disrupt Coco's game. Gauff, the warrior, had one answer: outrun, outfight, outlast. As they shook hands before the first serve, Pegula smiled faintly. Coco returned it. They both knew this would be a battle of will. Round 1, sparks fly. The match began with thunder. Coco broke early, darting from corner to corner with impossible speed. Her defense turned to offense in a blink, her forehand exploding like lightning across the court. "Unbelievable!" the commentator shouted as Coco struck a running backhand winner down the line to close the first set 6-3. The crowd roared. Cameras flashed. Pegula simply nodded, the look of a veteran who knew how to adjust. In the stands, Coco's parents watched quietly. Her father, Corey, clenched his fist with pride. Her mother, Candy, whispered prayer under her breath. "Keep her heart steady." Round 2, the storm returns. Pegula came alive in the second set. She slowed the rallies, forced longer points, and began pulling Coco into uncomfortable territory. Gauff's rhythm faltered. The errors crept in. And Pegula, ever the patient hunter, pounced. 6-4, Pegula's set. The score was even, but the emotional balance was shifting. Coco walked to her bench, head bowed, sweat dripping onto the court like rain. Her coach leaned forward, voice steady. "Remember who you are." Coco closed her eyes. She thought of her journey, the endless practices, the defeats that once broke her spirit, the little girl who dreamed of moments like this. She looked up, eyes blazing again. "I'm not done," she whispered. Round 3, the rise of fire. The third set began with a burst of energy. Coco moved like she was chasing destiny itself. Her returns were electric, her serves fearless. Every scream from the crowd seemed to fuel her. Pegula fought valiantly, but Coco was in full flight, a blur of confidence and emotion. At 4-2, Coco broke serve with a stunning forehand winner that painted the sideline. The crowd erupted. Gauff, Gauff, Gauff. Moments later, match point arrived. A rally of 22 shots, a test of nerve and endurance. Pegula aimed deep to Coco's backhand. Coco countered with a looping topspin that clipped the line. Pegula tried to reset, but her final shot drifted long. Game, set, match. Coco Gauff, champion of Wuhan. She fell to her knees, eyes glistening, the crowd's cheers washing over her like waves. Tears, triumph, and truth. As Coco rose from the court, Pegula was already walking toward her with a smile. They embraced, no rivalry, just respect. Proud of you, Pegula whispered. Coco smiled through tears. Thank you for pushing me. When she looked toward the stands, she saw her parents, standing, clapping, eyes full of pride. It wasn't just a win for her. It was for them, for everyone who believed when the world doubted. The speech that shook the world. During the trophy ceremony, Coco took the microphone. Her voice trembled, but her words cut deep. This title isn't just mine. It belongs to everyone who's ever been told they're not ready, not strong enough, not capable. I've fallen, I've failed, I've doubted myself. But every time I got back up, my fire burned stronger. To my team, my family, and to Jessica, thank you for reminding me that greatness isn't about never losing. It's about never giving up. The stadium erupted in applause. Pegula clapped the loudest. In that moment, Coco Gauff wasn't just a tennis champion. She was a symbol of endurance. Unstoppable, unbreakable, unafraid. Months later, when Coco returned to Florida, she stopped by her childhood court, the same cracked asphalt where it all began. She placed the Wuhan trophy at the baseline, looked up at the sky, and whispered, "Thank you for every no that made me stronger." A soft breeze passed. The sun dipped low. In that golden light, Coco Gauff, the unstoppable fire, stood tall, smiling. Her journey wasn't over. It was only just beginning. Epilogue, the fire lives on. When history looks back at the Wuhan Open 2025, it won't just remember the scoreline or the statistics. It will remember the story of a young woman who faced her doubts, faced the world, and refused to dim her light. Coco Gauff's victory was not merely athletic. It was emotional, spiritual, a triumph of heart over hesitation. Because true champions aren't born from trophies. They're forged in moments when the world watches, waiting for them to break. And instead, they burn brighter. And so, as Coco lifted the golden trophy high under the Wuhan stars, her words became eternal. I'm still learning, still growing, still on fire. And the best part? The fire's just getting started. Fire, thank you for watching. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like, and share. Till next time.